Welcome to the Taste China Learn English. Deep dive into a delicious piece of history.
Yeah, we are so glad you were here with us. Today, we are basically unwrapping a thousands of years old gift.
Literally unwrapping it.
Exactly. We are looking at the Chinese Zongzi, or the sticky rice dumpling. And our mission today is to explore the history, the flavors, and of course, the vocabulary behind this iconic cultural symbol.
Right. And, before we jump in, we just want to set some ground rules for you listening. We know a lot of you are English beginners, and that is awesome.
Absolutely. So we're going to keep our speaking pace, very slow and relaxed today.
Yeah, there is no rush.
Right. No rush at all. It is perfect for learning about Chinese culture and picking up some really great English vocabulary along the way.
So let's get into it. Before we even talk about eating this dish, you really need to be able to visualize it, right?
Yeah, the visual is so important.
So buy a Zongzi on the street. They hand you what looks like um, a little green pyramid,
A little green pyramid, exactly. It fits right in the palm of your hand.
and it is tied up so tightly with string. Because of this leafy wrapper, I know a lot of English speakers default to calling it the Chinese tamale.
They do, yeah. It gives people a familiar reference point, but I mean, they are actually very different.
Right. Because if you think of a traditional Mesoamerican tamale that uses masa, which is a corn dough, right? And it is wrapped in a dried corn husk.
Exactly. But the Zongzi completely leaves corn behind. Instead, the main ingredient inside is what we call glutinous rice.
Glutinous rice. That is a great vocabulary word.
It is. And, despite having the word gluten right there in the name, glutinous rice does not actually contain gluten.
Wait, really? It doesn't?
No, it doesn't. The word glutinous here just means sticky. It acts almost like a glue.
Oh, I see. So it holds the whole pyramid shape together when you unwrap it.
Exactly. Regular white rice would just, fall apart on your plate. But
Yeah.
this sticky rice binds everything into a solid block.
Okay, so that is the inside. But what about the outside? We mentioned it is not a dry corn husk.
Right. It is wrapped in either fresh bamboo leaves or reed leaves.
Bamboo leaves. And those actually affect the flavor, don't they?
They really do. You boil or steam the zongzi for hours. And during that time, the heat forces the natural oils of the leaf directly into the rice.
Wow. So the wrapper is an active ingredient. And, when you finally cut the string and open it, the smell is just incredible. The sources describe the aroma as herbaceous.
Herbaceous. Yes, that is a fantastic word to learn.
Let's break that down for the listener. Herbaceous basically means relating to herbs, right? It gives the rice this fresh, green, leafy smell.
Exactly. It is not sweet like a flower. It is herbaceous, like smelling a dense bamboo forest right after it rains.
So, if I am picturing this right, it is like a tamale's cousin, but instead of corn, it uses sticky rice. And the wrapper literally infuses the food with the scent of a forest.
That is a perfect way to describe it. Yes.
Okay, so now you know what the wrapper and the rice are, but what is actually inside that rice?
Well, that brings us to a massive annual debate in China.
The Great Zongzi War.
Yes, the Great Zongzi War. It is all about the filling. And there is this huge north-south divide in China regarding the flavors.
Right, because China is so vast, the geography really changes the food.
It does. In the north, the preference is overwhelmingly for sweet zongzi.
Sweet, like dessert.
Yeah, kind of. They fill the sticky rice with things like dried red dates or, a really sweet red bean paste.
That sounds delicious.
It is very light and sweet, but if you travel down to the south, the preference completely flips to savory.
Savory. Okay, let's make sure we define savory for everyone listening.
Good idea. Savory means a food that is salty or spicy, not sweet. It has that rich, meaty flavor.
Right, like a heavy beef stew. So what makes the Southern Zongzi so savory?
Well, the classic Southern filling uses chunks of pork belly that have been marinated in soy sauce. And sitting right next to the pork, there is usually a salted duck egg yolk.
Okay, wait. Salted egg yolk inside rice. I have to say, to a lot of foreigners, that sounds like an acquired taste.
An acquired taste. Yes, that is a brilliant phrase to teach today.
It is something that might take a little courage to try the first time, right?
Exactly. An acquired taste is something you may not like initially, but you learn to love it after trying it a few times. The salted egg yolk is very dense and intensely salty.
Yeah, I can see how that might be overwhelming at first. But does the melting pork fat really make it work?
Oh, absolutely. That is the magic of it. During the hours of boiling, the fat from the pork belly actually melts directly into the sticky rice.
Wow, so the rice just absorbs all that rich, meaty liquid.
Yes. So when you finally bite into the salted egg yolk, it is perfectly balanced by the rich, fatty, savory rice around it. It is heavenly.
Heavenly for some, maybe an acquired taste for others. But, we still haven't answered a huge question.
Which is,
Why do this at all? Zongzi isn't just a tasty snack with debated flavors. The very reason it exists as a green pyramid is tied to this highly dramatic piece of ancient history.
right, the history of this food is deeply tied to a very patriotic story.
Patriotic. Let's explain that word for our listener.
Sure, being patriotic means expressing devotion, a vigorous support for your own country.
Putting your country above yourself.
Hmm.
And this story is about an ancient poet named Kuai Yuan, right?
Yes, Kwai. He lived over 2,000 years ago. He was a brilliant government minister, deeply devoted to his home state of Chu, very patriotic.
But things did not go well for him.
No, they didn't. Corrupt officials lied to the king about him. He was banished, sent into exile, and while he was gone, his beloved home state was actually invaded and conquered by enemies.
That is awful.
It broke his heart. According to legend, Kuai Yuan was in such despair over his fallen country that he walked into the Miluo River and drowned himself.
And this is where the food comes in, right? Because the local villagers loved him.
They did. They rushed out into the water in their wooden boats, desperately trying to save him, but they couldn't find his body.
So they panicked. They were terrified that the fish in the river would eat their hero's body.
Exactly. So what did they do? They needed to feed the fish something else. They grabbed sticky rice, wrapped it in river leaves, and threw these heavy bundles into the water.
It is fascinating. So the original Zongzi wasn't even cooked for humans to eat. It was meant to be fish food to protect a hero.
That is the legend, yeah. It was purely a distraction for the fish.
And now it is a beloved holiday meal. That is quite a transition.
It really is. Today, to honor him, people eat Zongzi and they race long, narrow boats during the Dragon Boat Festival.
The Dragon Boat Festival. I have seen videos of that. People are beating heavy drums, rowing frantically down the river.
Yes, they are recreating the frantic rescue mission on the river. But over thousands of years, it has evolved into a very spirit-lifting tradition.
Spirit lifting. That means it makes you feel happy and energized, right?
Exactly. It lifts your spirits. It is a loud, joyful, competitive holiday now.
That is just incredible. From fish food to a spirit lifting global festival.
Okay, I think this is a perfect time to do a quick vocabulary roundup for you listening. I agree. Let's make sure our listener feels really confident with the English we use today to describe Zongzi.
First, we had glutinous rice.
Right. Remember, glutinous simply means sticky. It is the sticky soul of the dish that holds the pyramid together.
Then we had herbaceous.
Herbaceous. That is the fresh, leafy, forest-like smell that the bamboo wrapper gives to the food.
Next was savory.
Savory refers to the salty, meaty, rich flavor profile, specifically the style they prefer in the south of China.
And speaking of the South, we talked about the salted egg yolk being an acquired taste.
Yes. An acquired taste is something that takes a little courage to try, but you learn to love it over time.
I actually think acquired taste is the most useful phrase for daily life. You can use it for so much more than just food.
Oh, definitely. How would you use it?
Well, learning a new language is an acquired taste. It feels hard and awkward at first, but slowly you start to really love the process.
That is a wonderful example. And finally, we had the word patriotic.
Patriotic. The deep feeling of love and devotion for your country. just like the ancient poet Kui Yuan had.
Exactly. Those are 5 excellent words to practice today.
So we have covered the anatomy of the tamale's cousin, the great sweet versus savory war, and the dramatic legend behind it all.
I want to leave you with one final thought to ponder today.
Oh, please do.
Next time you see a wrapped up food from any culture, whether it is a zongzi or something else entirely, just pause and think about the history hidden inside.
I love that.
What unseen stories, what ancient geographical challenges, and what legends are folded into the foods you eat every single day.
Food is never just food. It is history.
Yeah.
So to our listener, the next time you see a green pyramid tied with string, do not be afraid.
Yes, be brave.
Just unwrap it, enjoy that herbaceous smell, and take a bite of a 2,000-year-old legend.
Thank you so much for exploring this with us today.
Yes, thank you. And hey, if you enjoy this deep dive, please like this video, share it with your fellow English learners or anyone who loves food history.
And do not forget to subscribe to our channel.
Exactly. Subscribe for more language and culture deep dives. Keep practicing your English, and we will see you next time.